The silence after the storm of a narcissist is one of the loudest sounds you will ever hear. It's a deafening quiet that leaves you questioning everything, not just them, but yourself. You replay conversations, searching for the moment things went wrong, convinced that you were somehow the author of your own pain. But what if I told you that their entire life, from their seemingly perfect beginning to their often desolate end, follows a predictable, almost scripted, 7-stage path? Understanding this path isn't about excusing their behavior. It's about taking your power back. It's about seeing the puppet master's strings and realizing you were never the puppet they thought you were. Today, we are not just looking at traits. We are uncovering the entire life cycle. This is the story they never want you to know. Number 1, the unseen wound. Every story has a beginning, and for the narcissist, it begins not with strength, but with a deep, hidden vulnerability. In their childhood, something fundamental was broken. They were either placed on a pedestal and treated as a golden child, loved not for who they were, but for what they represented, an extension of a parent's ego, or they were the opposite, the neglected or criticized child, constantly told they were not good enough, their emotional needs treated as an inconvenience. Both paths lead to the same destination. The golden child learns that love is conditional, based on performance and perfection. The wounded child learns that love is absent, and they are inherently flawed. In either case, a terrifying belief is formed deep inside. My true self is unlovable. This is the unseen wound. It's a gaping hole in their sense of self. They can't bear to look at it, and they will spend the rest of their lives ensuring no one else sees it either. Their entire personality becomes a frantic, lifelong effort to run from this single, terrifying truth. Number 2, the construction of the false self. Because their true self feels so empty and shameful, they must invent a new one. This is the second stage, the construction of the false self. This isn't just putting on a good face. It's an architectural marvel of deception. They become an actor playing the role of a lifetime, and the character they create is everything they believe their wounded true self is not. Confident, charming, successful, special, and above all, flawless. They study people, learning how to mimic emotions, how to say the right things, how to appear empathetic and caring. They collect achievements, friendships, and possessions not for enjoyment, but as bricks and mortar to build up the wall of their false identity. They are not building a person, they are building a fortress. This false self is who you meet. It's who you fall in love with. It's shiny, impressive, and utterly convincing, but it's hollow. It has no real substance, no genuine emotions. It's a mask, and its only purpose is to get the one thing it needs to survive. Number 3, the grand search for supply. A fortress needs guards, and a mask needs an audience. Stage 3 is the narcissist's relentless search for what is known as narcissistic supply. Supply is anything that feeds their ego and validates their false self. It can be praise, admiration, attention, or even fear. But the most potent form of supply is another person. This is where the infamous love bombing comes in. When they find a target, they unleash a tidal wave of affection and attention. They mirror your dreams, your insecurities, your deepest desires. They make you feel like you finally found your soulmate, the one person who truly understands you. It feels like magic, but it is a calculated strategy. They are not seeing you. They are seeing a perfect source of validation. You are the mirror they've been searching for, one that reflects their false self back to them as perfect and wonderful. Their love is a mirror, and they only love you as long as you reflect their perfection. Number 4, the kingdom of control. Once they have secured their primary source of supply, they move into the 4th stage, building their kingdom of control. A narcissist cannot exist in a world of equals. They must be the king or queen, and everyone else must be a loyal subject. They begin to subtly, and then not so subtly, isolate you from your friends, family, and hobbies. Your world must shrink until they are the center of it. This is the phase of manipulation. Gaslighting becomes their primary language. I never said that. You're being too sensitive. You're imagining things. They rewrite reality day by day to make you doubt your own mind, your own memory. It's a dizzying dance, and it's designed to make you feel like you're the one who can't keep up. They create chaos and then present themselves as the only source of stability. In their kingdom, they write the laws, they judge the crimes, and they are always, always innocent. Your role is simple: to admire, to obey, and to never, ever question the ruler. Number 5, the inevitable devaluation. No one can play the role of the perfect subject forever. You are human. You will have a bad day. You will disagree. You will have needs of your own. You will eventually crack the mirror. And this is when the narcissist enters the fifth and cruelest stage, the devaluation. The same person who once told you that you were perfect now begins to find fault in everything you do. The compliments are replaced with constant criticism. The affection is replaced with cold indifference. The mask of the false self begins to slip, and you get glimpses of the cold rage and contempt that lies beneath. This isn't because you have changed. It's because you are no longer a perfect source of supply. Your humanity, your flaws, your very realness remind them of the wound they are trying to hide. By devaluing you, they are trying to destroy the mirror that is showing them a reflection they cannot stand. The cruelty is not personal. It is a desperate act of self-preservation. Number 6, the grand discard. The devaluation phase can last for weeks, months, or even years, but it almost always ends in stage 6, the grand discard. A narcissist's greatest fear is being abandoned because it triggers that core wound of being unlovable, so they must be the one to leave first. The discard is often shocking, sudden, and brutal. It happens when you are at your lowest, most confused, and most dependent on them. One of the most painful truths of the discard is that they almost always have your replacement already lined up. They cannot tolerate being alone with their true self for a single moment. The emptiness is too vast, so they overlap relationships, grooming a new source of supply while they are still devaluing the old one. This is why they can move on so quickly, appearing happy and in love with someone new, while you are still sorting through the wreckage. It wasn't love they left. It was a depleted resource they replaced. You were not a person to them. You were a function, and that function has ceased. Number 7, the final isolation. This cycle of idealize, devalue, and discard repeats itself throughout the narcissist's life. For a time, it works. They move from person to person, job to job, leaving a trail of broken hearts and confused minds. But time is not a friend to the narcissist. This brings us to the final tragic stage, the final isolation. As they age, their tactics become less effective, their charm wears thin, the mask cracks more easily, and the ugliness beneath shows through more often. People start to see the pattern. The children they may have raised grow up and either escape the cycle or become narcissists themselves. Friends and family eventually stop giving them second, third, and 10th chances. Their network of supply dwindles. They are left with what they have run from their entire lives, themselves. They become bitter, lonely figures, railing against a world that they believe has wronged them, never understanding that they were the architects of their own solitude. The fortress they built to protect their wound becomes their prison. In the end, their kingdom has only one subject, them, and it is a cold, empty, and lonely kingdom indeed. Seeing this entire life cycle laid out isn't about finding pity for them. It's about finding clarity for you. It's the final piece of the puzzle that shows you their actions were never about your worth. It was always about their wound. Your journey was just a detour in their desperate, lifelong flight from themselves. If this video helped you connect some dots and brought you a bit of clarity, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. We create content that helps you understand these complex dynamics so you can heal and move forward. And now, I want to hear from you, but in a way that protects your peace. The most powerful part of healing is knowing you are not alone. In the comments below, without sharing any personal details, just let us know which of these 7 stages you recognize the most. Your story, even just a stage number, might be the validation someone else needs to see today. Thank you for watching.